Y'all Fusion here, back with another video. Yesterday we went over the Atlantic division. Today we're going to be going over the Central division here. The Chicago Bulls, the Cavs, Pistons, Pacers, and the Bucks. So let's go ahead and just get started. I'm just going to go ahead and start from top to bottom because I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on with the Bucks, and I think I'll have a lot more insight on that team. But let's go ahead and start with the Chicago Bulls. I think that the Chicago Bulls have always been a solid team. I feel like they're missing, well, of course they're missing Lonzo Ball, their main point guard who gets their team into the right positions. And you have a lot of potential on this team. I do feel like that this team maybe has a year or two to really figure out on what they're going to do, be it with Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan, as well as really, I think that's all. Kobe White, seems to be shying away from what he can do. I do feel like it is a coaching style that is making this team not reach what they have the ability to do. I think Zach LaVine is a great player. I think that DeMar DeRozan is a great player. I think that adding Andre Drummond as well as Alex Caruso, adding that defensive line is important, but I don't think it's translating. I don't know what else that they need to do. I do feel like that they need Lonzo to come back to really make a change, especially since he is a great defender as well. So that does reinforce that defensive mindset that could be on this team. But I feel like they are missing one piece. I think that they're just going to be what they've always been and what DeMar DeRozan has always been in this league, a great regular season team, with a great regular season players. But when they get to the playoffs, they tend to shy away. I don't know why that is. I feel like they need some sort of veteran. I personally think that Chris Paul might have been interesting on this team. Someone who's a pass first guy who is not technically looking for his shot all the time, but is willing to pass that up. So I think that'd be interesting. Next, we have the Cavs. I think that the Cavs will play better this year. I think that they really figured out what is going on with this team. I think that Jared Allen didn't perform to his best last season, so we could see a lot of improvement there. Young guy with Imani Bates. Donovan Mitchell is just a pure scorer. Evan Mobley is great. Where's my boy at? My guy. Darius Garland, also a great player. I feel like this is his season to really stamp and tell everybody that, he's here on this team as well. So I could see this being a really breakout season for this team. I don't know about finals, but I know that they will make a shake in the playoffs because I feel like they had a chance last season to really make a shake. I think that would have been a perfect building block for them coming into this year. But since they really didn't perform as they should, it sort of slowed down their progress. But I could see a very interesting team and a hard team to face against just because of Donovan Mitchell. But for some reason, I'm thinking Darius Garland will have a season this season where he's just going to stamp his name. And then you always figure out Karis LeVert. Personally, I do, but I feel like he's a solid player. I think having him come off the bench, he'll give you at least 15, sometimes even more, just off of his style of play. So I think that's a interesting team here. Definitely a one to watch, for sure. Pistons. Personally, I feel like the Pistons will always be the Pistons. Not a great team because they don't know how to pick great players. Of course, they can draft great players because they suck, so they always get the low end. But because of that, like they always get high first round options with Cade Cunningham, so on and so forth. But Cade Cunningham, James Wiseman. Wiseman was a solid pickup in my opinion. I feel like Wiseman should have stayed with the Warriors, but I guess it just didn't really work out. But I think he's a solid player as well. Killian Hayes, solid. Alec Burks, he's an older guy, but he's always been solid in my opinion. Joe Harris, Bojan Bogdanovic, some notable names there. Marvin Bagley. Like you look at this roster, and it's not a bad roster, but it's the Pistons, so I feel like you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna have a few games where they are great team, a great team all around, and then just randomly fall out of the bottom. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the culture. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's just like the team isn't that great, but they're gonna have to figure it out. I could see some sort of changes happening in the trade prior to the trade deadline that could really help this team. But again, I just don't have faith in the Pistons at all. Speaking of no faith, we're heading right next door to the Pacers. Talk about no faith. Obi Toppin, Buddy Hield. I feel like Buddy Hield, he could be out of here. Bruce Brown, he was a solid pickup, but I still don't think they have enough. Tyrese Halliburton, he is their best and most consistent player. He could definitely set up Buddy Hield for great shots, lobs for Toppin, as well as some good shots for Bruce Brown. But I feel like they're missing one more piece. Miles Turner has always been solid. I'm waiting on him to really step up to prove what he can do in this league. He's 27. I feel like this should be a year where you're seeing Miles Turner play like he should be playing. So that's my thoughts on the Pacers. I feel like they're missing a couple pieces for Tyrese Halliburton to do what he does well, which is a pass guy. Of course, he can score. He has a solid jump shot. But I feel like I feel like his main role that he likes doing, just from how I watch him play, is a very pass first centric guy. So I feel like they're missing some people who could really feed off of that quite well. Lastly, and I think what happened to be the most important trade so far, the Bucks. They got Damian Lillard. I think adding Damian Lillard with Giannis will be a very interesting lineup. I think he will open up the floor and let Giannis do Giannis things. Chris Middleton, he's healthy. He will be able to space the floor as well. Cameron Payne, I think, was a solid pickup because he is just like he's a great pass first point guard as well. I could see Damian Lillard being pushed to the 2, had Chris Middleton at the 3, Giannis at 4, and Brook at 5, or even Bobby Portis at 4, and then Giannis at 5. But those are some potential lineups that could happen. Again, floor spacing is what Giannis needs, and that's what they have gotten. Floor spacing. As well as a dog with Damian Lillard. Every team needs a dog, someone who is highly competitive, and I feel like this team will be a great one to watch. I'm just thinking about the pick and rolls with Giannis and Dame, or even the pick and rolls with Giannis and Payne as well. Seeing that work. And of course, like, they kept their sharpshooter Brook Lopez, so I think I'm glad that he always has a home because he's always a solid player. Robin Lopez is his brother, more of the hustle guy, but you could see them matching up well with Denver, who is obviously a other team to beat now, and Joel Embiid with the 76ers by adding that height and that strength to their guard position, as well as supplementing like their centers and their power forwards. So I think that's interesting. I think that this team will be the one to watch. I think they're gonna have a adjustment period, probably that first month of October, maybe leading a bit into November, but then I think they're gonna skyrocket from there and really be a great team and a fun team to watch. So that's my thoughts on the Central Division. I got Bucks at 1, Cavs at 2, Bulls at 3, Pacers at 4, Pistons at 5. But that's my thoughts on the Central Division. Like, comment, subscribe. Tomorrow I'll be doing the Southeast. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.